At the 2025 Paris Air Show, held at the Le Bourget Airport in France, a major development in European defense cooperation was unveiled with significant geopolitical implications. Sweden's defense giant Saab and France's Direction Générale de l'Armement (DGA), the governmental agency responsible for defense procurement, signed a formal declaration of intent to move forward with the procurement of two GlobalEye airborne early warning and control (AEW&C) aircraft, with options for 2 additional units. This announcement is of particular interest not only to European defense observers, but also to U.S. policymakers, defense analysts, and the wider NATO security architecture. While the surface-level details focus on France's modernization of its airborne surveillance fleet, the underlying context reveals a broader strategic dynamic. France is attempting to modernize its sovereign capabilities while staying interoperable with NATO, and the United States remains the core anchor of that alliance. The GlobalEye platform, developed by Sweden's Saab and based on the Canadian Bombardier Global 6000 business jet, integrates multi-domain surveillance into a single asset. It is a response to today's threat environment, marked by highly mobile missile threats, stealth aircraft, and an increasingly congested battlespace across air, land, and sea. Central to GlobalEye is the Area Extended Range radar, an active electronically scanned array (AESA) radar with 360-degree coverage. Unlike older mechanically scanned systems, the Area provides persistent surveillance and rapid revisit rates, enabling it to track hundreds of targets simultaneously. It is capable of detecting even low observable threats like drones and stealth fighters at long ranges, providing an extended window for detection and response. These are the very attributes that are required to address the challenges posed by near-peer adversaries like China and Russia, challenges the U.S. has long prioritized in its own procurement strategies. From the standpoint of the United States, the GlobalEye deal presents an interesting case. The U.S. has historically been the gold standard in AEW&C systems, developing and fielding platforms like the E-3 Sentry AWACS, the E-2D Hawkeye, and the newer E-7A Wedgetail, now being adopted to replace the aging E-3 fleet. These platforms remain the backbone of Western airborne early warning capabilities. The Sentry, with its iconic rotating radar dome, has supported U.S. and NATO operations for decades, from the Cold War to counterterrorism missions in the Middle East. However, it is aging. The U.S. Air Force has recognized the need for a replacement and selected the E-7 Wedgetail, developed by Boeing on the 737 airframe and used by key allies such as Australia and the United Kingdom. The U.S. has led the way in AEW&C systems since the 1970s, and while Saab's GlobalEye offers a capable European solution, it does not eclipse the broader American AEW&C ecosystem. France's interest in GlobalEye is largely driven by the limitations of its current fleet. France currently operates 4 E-3F Sentry aircraft, variants of the American E-3, which it has flown since the early 1990s. These aircraft have provided critical command and control functions during operations in the Balkans, Libya, Mali, and across NATO's eastern flank. But like their American counterparts, France's E-3Fs face rising maintenance costs and obsolescence in the face of advanced threats. Modern air combat and surveillance require sensor fusion, AI-assisted target tracking, and seamless multi-domain integration, capabilities that the older AWACS cannot deliver without a complete overhaul. Enter GlobalEye. Saab's offering allows France to modernize its airborne surveillance rapidly without becoming entirely dependent on U.S. suppliers. However, this should not be seen as a move away from U.S. alignment. Instead, it represents a recalibration. France is investing in sovereign capabilities, yes, but within the framework of NATO interoperability, which is underpinned by U.S. standards. Saab has ensured that GlobalEye can interface with NATO-compatible command systems, making the aircraft a plug-and-play asset within joint operations, whether it's under French command or integrated into a broader Allied task force. From an operational perspective, the GlobalEye has been designed for endurance and flexibility. It offers 11+ hours of loiter time and can cover thousands of square kilometers. Its radar system is gallium nitride-based, which significantly increases range, resolution, and resistance to jamming. Moreover, unlike most legacy AEW&C systems, GlobalEye is multi-domain by design. It is not simply a flying radar station for air threats, it is equipped for maritime patrol, able to track surface vessels and submarines, and ground surveillance, detecting mobile targets in cluttered environments. In modern warfare, where threats may appear across domains simultaneously, this is invaluable. From a U.S. perspective, GlobalEye's growth reflects how American military innovation has shaped global defense benchmarks. The E3 Sentry's architecture laid the foundation for today's airborne battle management. The U.S. also pioneered the concept of multi-domain command and control, now being formalized in initiatives like Joint All-Domain Command and Control (JADC2). GlobalEye is, in effect, a European adaptation of those ideas, offering smaller nations a compact, less resource-intensive path toward the same type of capability. However, the U.S. still leads in breadth, scalability, and strategic depth. Platforms like the E-7 Wedgetail and the future NGJ, Next Generation Jammer, will ensure America retains its technological edge. There is also a broader industrial and geopolitical aspect to the deal. Sweden's membership in NATO as of 2024 dramatically changes the calculus. As a full NATO member, Sweden now has not only access to NATO intelligence sharing networks but also a vested interest in selling interoperable systems. Saab's defense export strategy has been enhanced by Sweden's alignment with NATO, and GlobalEye's success is one part of this new landscape. France, meanwhile, remains committed to European strategic autonomy, often advocating for European-made defense solutions to reduce dependency on non-EU suppliers. This is not anti-Americanism, it's strategic diversification. France continues to participate in NATO exercises, coordinates heavily with the US in intelligence sharing, and has supported US military operations globally, including in the Indo-Pacific. The potential acquisition of up to 4 GlobalEye aircraft will expand France's AEW&C capabilities, allowing for sustained coverage during high-tempo operations and enabling redundancy during maintenance cycles. But it also highlights the limits of medium-sized air forces. 4 aircraft is not a large fleet. For comparison, the U.S. Air Force operated over 30 E-3s at peak deployment. France's choice is a pragmatic one, achieving core functionality with a modern platform, but on a scale suited to its budget and needs. The announcement at the Paris Air Show is also strategically symbolic. This event, held every 2 years, is the largest aerospace trade show in the world and a platform for major announcements. France choosing this venue to unveil the GlobalEye deal signals its desire to lead in European defense circles. But it is also worth noting that many American firms, including Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and Northrop Grumman, continue to dominate the exhibit. Space at Paris, underlining the enduring centrality of U.S. defense technology in Europe. While the Saab GlobalEye agreement represents a tactical win for European defense industries, it occurs within a strategic environment still shaped and secured by American military leadership. France's decision to modernize its AEW&C capabilities with a Swedish platform underscores a desire for enhanced sovereignty, but not at the expense of interoperability with US-led NATO forces. For US defense policymakers, the move is a reminder of the need to maintain strategic innovation and ensure allies remain interoperable while investing in their own capabilities. The US should welcome this development, not as a challenge to its leadership, but as validation of its enduring strategic and technological influence on global defense planning.